And welcome to Rogues Gallery Live. This is episode number 24, and it's going to be a fun celebration tonight, but we're also going to be having a pretty serious conversation, and I want everybody to be involved and just kind of in the know. To start off, I want to apologize for my voice. I have been sick for about 9-10 days now, so I've got my water, I've got my Ricola, and I'm ready to go. So hopefully you won't hear me coughing too much during the show, but if I start joking and run out the room, you'll know why. But anyway, this is our third anniversary here on YouTube, and that is what we are celebrating today. 3 years. I cannot believe it's been 3 years. Sometimes it feels way less, and sometimes it feels like I've been doing this for 10 years. And so it's a lot of fun, though, and I'm really excited to celebrate with you guys today. As I said in a video, if you saw it a couple days ago, I said basically you have to be in the chat in order to get the giveaways. Also, you have to make sure you're a member of the Facebook group. And also, you have to make sure you share this video. I've got a little bit of Batman trivia, and that's how we're going to roll tonight. So I'm really excited about that. So definitely stay in the live chat. Share this video, like I said, so more people can have a chance to win. So I'm really excited about that. But anyway, yeah, 3 years. I'm really excited. And to get the show rolling, I want to go ahead and introduce everybody that's here with us tonight. First of all, we'll start. It hasn't been on the show for a little bit, but PJ's back, the Paradox Nerd. Welcome, PJ.
Hey, guys. What's going on?
Oh, no.
It's ASMR Paradox now. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, guys? Hey, Chris, congratulations, man, on this, and your anniversary, man. That's 3 years. That's really awesome. And yeah, thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for being here. And continued success on your new ASMR videos.
Oh, thank you. Please like and subscribe.
Also with us tonight, as always, Mr. Dan Dufault from BATCAVE North, Wayne Manor North. Welcome, Dan.
Hey, Chris. Glad to be here. Congrats on 3 years. Congrats on being one of the biggest influencers there is. Yeah, it's awesome to be here.
Thank you for being here. We also have from a remote location, I believe not even in the United States, we have from Extreme Collectibles, Mr. X is with us tonight.
Hey guys, hey Chris, congrats on the 3 years. That's longer than any relationship I've had, so props to you. And Chris asked me to be on because no one else was available, and he wanted to make sure that this video was not suitable for children, so I'm here for you.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. And thanks for taking time out of your busy time with your family. So thank you for being here tonight. And then also from Red Cup Review, Rob Banks is with us tonight. So Rob, welcome.
What's up, Mr. Batman? What's going on, everybody in the chat? It's good to be here. I feel pretty honored being asked for this specific anniversary show. This is my second time actually on the channel, which is pretty nice. And I just want to tell you that I just noticed now, considering you're the Batman statue collector, I like the Dutch tilt you got going on in the background. It's like a 66 Batman vibe you got going on there.
That's right. I'm in the submarine.
Yeah, there you go. Cool.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Everything's level, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm at an angle here, so who knows? But anyway, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat real quick. Already got 52 people in here, so thank you very much. Dark Ranger 7 is with us tonight. Edwin Diaz, Marcos Sical, Area 51, Life in Style. Hey, how's it going? Jesse Hernandez. Lavario 007, Wanda Quinn, B. Alex Thompson, Martin Noreo, Dan 14th Prime, Sam Blake, Tin Man, Bat in the North, I know that guy, Joe Caramello, Paradox Nerd, hey, how's it going?
Hey, I know that guy.
That's right.
What a
he whispers a lot.
What a dick. No, it's good.
Cool and Collected, Knockenbeister, Dave Fritzman, Usudeha, Toy Boy Collector, Vibe N2L, NATO 2323, JW Statues. Hey, JW. Can't remember if I said Area 51. But anyway, thank you guys for everybody being here. Oh, Sinister's in here. Hey, Sinister Collector. Ryan's in the house. Greg F. He just said, who is the hobo in the tank top? I love it. LMNO Popsicle is with us as always. So thank you very much. Got a great crew in here today. So, so I think to start off, before we get into our topic, I want to go ahead and give one thing away. And
nice.
We're going to start off with this one right here. This is the Batman Calavera. This was provided to us by Sideshow Collectibles. This is from Unruly Studios. Really cool pieces. They're really fun. I like these artist pieces. I think they're really unique and definitely add something to a collection. So if you're a Batman fan, you have the opportunity to win this. And so here's what we are going to do. First of all, I ask if you do win a prize tonight, I do ask that you pay for shipping. No matter, you can be anywhere in the world. And all you got to do is, if you win, email me your first and last name at thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com, and we'll make arrangements to get this shipped off to you. I would say, let's see, somebody just said, can you win more than once? I would say probably just one winner per item. Okay. I think that's fair. That way everybody has a chance. So anyway, what we'll do is I'm going to give a trivia question, and the first person that we see, and I know that sometimes there's delays and things like that, but the first person that we see in the chat, so if you guys help me out, first person that you see with the winning answer will get this Batman Calavera. Okay? Does that make sense?
It sounds good.
Okay. All right. So the first question, trivia question is, what Batman villain formerly worked as a zoologist? What Batman villain formerly worked as a zoologist?
Thanos.
It's not Kate, man.
Definitely not Thanos. Let's see if anybody sees. Everybody's just Googling, going to their Google machines.
Me too. I want to win that. No,
Hey, Mac's in the house. Hey, Mac, I said if you want to come on in.
He said he lost his sexy voice.
Oh, man. I haven't seen the right answer yet.
We got Ivy, Bane, or Man-Bat. I don't know what the right answer is, so if it's any of those.
Yeah.
Riddler, Apocalypse, Poison Ivy.
Let's go. All right, we have our winner. Sorry, I missed it. But our winner is, make sure I got the person that said it first. Dark Ranger 7, I believe. Let me double check. The correct answer is Man-Bat.
Wow.
Yep,
Nice.
Dark Ranger.
All right, Dark Ranger, congratulations. You said Man-Bat first on our list here. So congratulations again. Send me an email, thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com, and we'll make arrangements for shipping. So congratulations for our first winner. Coming up here soon, I also wanted to show you that we have the 6-scale Batman from Sideshow Collectibles.
I just want to say this is straight up bullshit. I could have been in the chat right now.
Yeah, I'm about to leave. And
then also, our bigger prize tonight, our grand prize, is the Donna Troy from Tweeterhead. This is courtesy of Spec Fiction. Todd at Spec Fiction provided this for us. So
wow, that's
we're
awesome.
going to be giving her away as well. So I'm really excited. And we'll do that throughout the show. Right now we have 72 viewers. If we get to 100, we'll do the next one. So share the video so everybody comes and checks out what we're talking about. So anyway, congratulations to that first winner. That's awesome.
Yeah, congratulations, man. I love, going back to that first giveaway. I love what that designer toys are making its way into the mainstream collector arena. I've been following designer toys for quite some time now, and they're awesome, man. I love and I love that Sideshow's actually going that route to help this bring that to the average collector.
It's really neat, some of the stuff that I don't know. It's just they're going so far out there in some of their pieces, but they obviously people are really digging them. So it's really cool to see, I think, too.
Yeah, it's like a artist, and not only an artist interpretation, like with the character that you love, but if you check out like Designer Con or there's this event, and Rob probably knows about it, 5 Points, and I'm going next year, Rob, if you want to meet up, could get some beers and stuff. But yeah, it's just like I love how the artwork, a lot of these artists just go crazy, and it's well appreciated with the collecting community. So
it's cool to see some a little bit more eclectic too. It might not necessarily be for me, all these pieces, but it's just nice to see like they're almost like graffiti designs a little bit. Some Spanish flair in there a little bit. It's cool to just see some outlandish stuff from time to time.
Yeah, and there was like my friend Subaru Shimizu. He works with me actually, but he actually bought a Darth Vader with like some Jordan sneakers. like that's cool. That's awesome, and like I love that.
Yeah, they're pretty unique, pretty original. So anyway, before we get started, I just put a banner up. Make sure you visit Red Cup Review, Extreme Channel, and the Paradox Nerd on YouTube.
Yes, soon to be
Batman Statue Collector, of course. So anyway, thank you guys again very much for being on the show tonight.
Yeah, and soon to be a ASMR Paradox.
That's exactly right. Well, the main thing that I wanted to talk about tonight is this topic right here. There's something called COPPA, the FTC, and the end of collecting channels ? So I'm going to give you guys kind of a backstory out there if you're not familiar with what's going on with YouTube. Recently, YouTube was fined by the FTC, and that's the Federal Trade Commission, the government. They fined YouTube because YouTube was targeting certain ads or using their ads toward kids content. If you are on YouTube, YouTube is meant to be 13 and older. It's always been that way. I bet everybody in this panel right here, at least most of you guys, probably are checking analytics daily. I know it's something that I check constantly. I love looking at the data. I love looking at what's going on with my channel. And it always lists it as 13 and above. Me personally, my content, my viewership from the age of 13 to 18 is 3%. Do you guys know what yours is?
Yeah, I don't have anybody in the history of my channel under the age of 18 to have ever watched my videos, and everything is pretty much from 18 to 24 is like 50%, and everything else is like 25 to 44.
Very low.
Yeah, I have 0% under 18 as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
DJ?
Yeah, I have 0% under 18.
Okay. So anyway, YouTube is designed to be 13 and up. So there's never really been a problem with ads targeting anyone because that was the way it was set up. However, that's not the way our society works. Within the last 8 years or so, YouTube has increased the viewership in young kids. As somebody that works with elementary kids, I see it all the time. I hear about it all the time. YouTube, for a lot of these kids, are kind of their babysitter. Parents are working full time. They're working night shifts. They're working odd hours. Kids are left to their own devices. What are they watching? They're not watching cable. They're watching YouTube videos. My kids at home, I've got 2. They are 10 and under. That's all they do. If they're not playing a video game or out on the trampoline, they are watching YouTube videos. They like to watch video game creators. They like to watch, goofy oddball things. That is what they love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I am fine as a parent. I monitor what they watch. I've got apps on my phone that tell me exactly what they are watching and when they are watching. I am a responsible parent. Is there some things that they might watch that I still don't like them to watch? I'm sure there are. But there are a lot of people out there that don't monitor that. They're not watching what happens with their kids. And so, long story short, YouTube was fined, I think it was $180 million for targeting kids via their ads. That means that YouTube is responsible for that. They knew what was going on. They were responsible for that happening. They were responsible for that fee being incurred. However, they do not want to get busted again. They do not want to have to pay another fine like that again. So they have made major changes as to what is going to affect so many people watching this today. Is because of the new rules that the FTC has laid out, that you basically have two options. Number one, you can label your channel as not for kids. And that's fine and dandy. So everybody says, okay, well, Chris, just label it not for kids and you're good. Well, to me, you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because there is two sides of this. So number one, if you label it not for kids, but I'm going to read this to you here. This is from the federal government's website. According to FTC's guideline on COPPA, a video is child-directed, so children are the primary audience based on factors described below. Children are not the primary audience, but the video is still directed to children based on the factors below. Just like everybody in this room said, no one is directing their videos toward children. Hardly anybody is even watching 13 to 18. However, it says this: when deciding whether or not your channel is your channel or video is made for kids, you should consider what various factors are, including these. Subject matter of the video. Is it educational content for preschoolers? Whether children are your intended or actual audience for the video. So it's not intended, but kids could be watching. Whether the video includes child actors or models. Mine does not. Whether the video includes characters, celebrities, or toys that appeal to children, including animator characters or cartoon figures. This is the one that's going to hurt us right there. Whether the language of the video is intended for children to understand. So it's not just about cussing in your videos. Whether the video includes activities that appeal to children, such as play acting or early education. Whether the video includes songs, stories, or poems. Any other information you may have to help determine your video's audience, blah, blah, blah. So the main line there is where it talks about characters. They even specifically said, like Spider-Man. We in the collecting industry, we do all of these videos because we are fans of the characters, but we're also fans of high-end collectibles. Beautiful statues that are geared toward adults. I don't know any kids that are paying $1,000 for a statue. However, kids could be interested in the content. So YouTube has said that if you mark your video as for adults, but they deem now, and YouTube even goes through your videos and says, okay, is this for kids or not? I have not been flagged for any of those. Have you guys been flagged for any of those?
No.
Okay.
Even the videos that I have my kids in, what I've done initially, in case I'm sure nobody has this, I might be the only one. I've had a few videos where my kids have done reviews. I've had a few videos where my kids have helped me with the intro with a giveaway. What I did was I marked those for kids. I made them private, and I kind of hid them away anyway. So I think that if you mark something for private, no one's going to be able to see it. It ain't going to matter regardless.
Correct.
They already marked them for kids anyway, so there's going to be no AdSense on those videos to begin with.
Okay. So you have the option to mark things, each individual video, if you want, for kids or not. Or you can do a blanket. They're all for kids, or they're a blanket all for adults. But if you mark it as for adults, and the FTC, starting January 1st, they're going to come in and they're going to look at this content. They are going to look to see if you have complied, if your video could potentially be watched by a kid. So if I do a Batman review, is that something that could potentially be watched by a kid? And the answer is yes. If the FTC deems that I broke the law, we can be fined $42,000. I think it's
up to, and it's
up to 42,000 something per video. So if you have hundreds of videos on your channel, you are liable for potentially all of those videos, which would be devastating to most people.
Here's
The
another
other
thing
side of that.
real quick. I just want to interject because it has to do with something you just said.
Yeah.
The AdSense direct marketed to videos for kids right now. My kids have watched my videos just to watch them, right? And I've sometimes like go in and rewatch something to see, if whatever, and I'll watch the ads, and I've never seen anything other than a car commercial or like a movie coming out. Like I've never seen a kids directed ad on my channel at all.
Right. And I think most people haven't.
Right.
The other side of it is that, okay, if you mark your videos, if you're worried about it, which a lot of creators are, they're worried about being penalized by the federal government. So they are offering, you can say, okay, well, my videos are for kids. Simple as that. Here's the giant downfall. Number one, we'll no longer have monetized targeted ads. They're apparently going to be blanket ads, but it's going to create channels that are used to being monetized. It'll cut that monetization in half, if not more. The second part of that, kid on YouTube.
Flag.
Yeah, we've been flagged. Thanks a lot, Mr. X. So anyway, it's going to cut the monetization in half. Number two, it's going to take away comments. So there's no longer going to be any engagement in the channel. Number three, they're going to take away your community tab if you have one, which we do. Also, you are no longer going to be notified of any video going live. So it's like you basically have to either already be a subscriber or know about the channel to get the videos, and you have to go check them yourself. So this has put creators.
Also, Chris, you will not be able to find those videos even if you search for them.
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you very much. I knew I forgot one. Thank you very much.
That's the most important one, to be honest. Is not being able to find your videos. Like you have to be not only a subscriber, but you have to directly post that video somewhere, and then people have to click on it to actually watch it, which is ridiculous.
Now, because of all of this, obviously a lot of people are freaked out. The common sense thing to me would be to mark all of the things as for kids, just so you don't risk the idea of getting fined by the government. There are some people that say there's a lot of gray area in what they've done. There's a lot of gray area with the way they've worded things. I've watched a ton of videos from channels that have millions of followers. I've watched a lot of people on this topic with lawyers that talk about social media lawyers and things like that. And even they are confused by a lot of the gray area here. There are some people that say, okay, well, YouTube is only going to go after, and the federal government's only going to go after these big giant channels.
Mm-hmm. I
disagree. I think they are going to just blanket go over what they find.
Yep.
Now there is, I have it down in the description down below. I highly recommend everybody, there's a blank document. All you have to do is fill in your information, like what channels you like, but it's basically just like a form letter. You can copy that, and then there's a link below that takes you right to the federal government's website, the FTC. You can click that, copy and paste, and tell them why you don't like this change and how it affects you. How does it affect you? I know we've been talking about video creators, but how does it affect you as a watcher? It affects you in a lot of ways. Number one, there's already been a lot of channels that have folded up shop. Toy collecting channels. This involves, like Lego, like major Lego companies, videos, toy collecting, statue collecting, like Disney family videos, anything with characters that are character driven. Everybody's really worried about this. Some channels are shutting down. Some channels are really worried about it. I invited Thor on here. Thor he runs Darth Castle. PJ, you might be more familiar with this than me, but I know that they just posted this week that they've gone completely dark. They have gone at least on YouTube. They're still going to continue, but they've gone. They felt so worried about this that they said, "Okay, we're going to make all of our videos on YouTube private," and I believe they're moving over to Twitch. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I think they are gonna move to Twitch and Facebook.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
So that of course is an option. But my question to you guys is, this is a big deal for a lot of creators, and we have the opportunity here to kind of make a stand. The FTC, whenever they say, hey, we want to hear your comments, they have said in the past, whenever they've done this, they're really wanting to hear the public's comments. They want to see, hey, did we get this right or did we get this wrong? I am really happy that they are able to at least take those comments, whether they do nothing with them. I do like that at least they give us the voice to say, hey, there's a what's the petition.org. It's almost got 500,000 signatures already on it. So this is a big topic because there's so many video creators out there that are, again, freaking out about this topic. So I wanted to hear what you guys thought about how it's affecting your channels. If you're worried, what you're going to do, tell me what's on your mind.
Who's going to go first? I nominate D. Rob. Nasky.
All right. What am I doing? I had a small. This is where my mind was initially, right? So, I was like, okay, this ain't gonna affect me. I'll just turn all my video monetization off because I really don't make that much anyway to begin with, right? Then YouTube reserves the right to just arbitrarily delete your channel if you're not commercially viable. But then what are they gonna do for the channels that are under 1,000 subscribers and under 4,000 watch minutes? Just immediately delete all of those channels, right? So this is where I had this conversation with my brother, who also has a YouTube channel as well, and what's interesting is that one of two things is going on. Either YouTube is used as a chance to turn YouTube into something else, right? Like this might be the first step for YouTube to just go completely corporate, cut all this fat off. Like we're like the dead weight kind of that you just trim off immediately. And then they could turn YouTube into like corporate tube or something where it's like, something that's only just commercially viable for them. Maybe they're going to team up with somebody else to combat against Disney Plus for the streaming thing. Maybe they're going to be something completely different in like 2 years that we haven't even thought of yet, right? Yeah. And this is their way of kind of like, shifting gears towards that, getting everybody to panic, jump off, and then reserving the right to but that whole reserve the right to delete channels, from what I saw from the Shardamus video that he released, I think it was today or yesterday, was that clause was already in there. Right. So they've already had that right to do that, and they haven't done that yet because there are mad channels that aren't commercially viable. So, like that's if you just started a YouTube channel, like the Batman Statue Collector just started and he had 25 subscribers. Is he going to get deleted January 1st? No. Is he going to get deleted in a year if he only has 500 subscribers in his first year? That's ridiculous. How are they ever going to make money and push forward? Because they're a corporation. You got to follow the money trail, right? Mm-hmm. So they're going to try to make as much money as possible off as many of us as possible. At the same time, though, that's why I think that they might be shifting gears and possibly, maybe turning into something else. Maybe, that was kind of sticking in the back of my mind. But as far as my plan was, I was just going to go and set all my videos to private, go dark for the first quarter of the year. That would be January, February, and March, right? And see how this kind of plays out. Focus my attention possibly on the Facebook group. Obviously, we have like 5 weeks until then, right? And it seems like every day a new video comes out informing us of a lawyer guy. Like PJ shared a lawyer video. He's been sharing a lawyer video saying that this is from a lawyer guy. And then some people are saying, well, that's just lawyer speak, and they're trying to panic the public. And then you got guys like Shardamus releasing videos every day. And I feel like this is like evolving and changing. And I believe in one of the last videos I saw, they said it's like some kind of deadline, December 10th, for them to review things. So this might go to like the 12th hour. And a lot of people are thinking this is going to be like my wife had mentioned, this is going to be Y2K all over again. But it might not be, So as far as what Red Cup Review is doing as of today is waiting until the last like December 31st, then just clicking private on all of his videos, and then maybe giving myself a week or two and taking it step by step to see how these other guys are affected, because the federal government doesn't have, first of all, they're not using their own algorithm inside of YouTube, right? And they don't have the means to go after each and every specific YouTuber, right? So Batman Statue Collector says they could be going over just the big channels and not the little ones, but he doesn't think so, right? Batman, you think they're going to come after blanket and come after everybody?
I think it's very possible that if they start going off, they might go after the big channels first, but if that's becoming successful for them and they're getting money for fines, what's to say, hey, we're going to go after everybody we can?
That's another reason why I think that every time something like this happens, it's always follow the money, right? That's like the conspiracy theories person. It's just follow the money and see who benefits. The government wants to get their hands in the cookie jar and make their money. Just like a meter maid in New York City they always find new ways to kind of pull money out of the people's pockets, right? So this is the government's way of saying YouTube is and Google is very popular and they make a lot of money. Well, we want our cut. Right. At the same time, this whole thing can be solved with a snap of a finger. All YouTube had to do, but Google's a corporation. They're not going to do this because they just like money, and corporations don't give a shit, and they'll throw the people like us under the bus first. And that's, we're no longer going to use AdSense on kids-related videos. Done. No one has to worry. They say we're still going to have advertising on kids-related videos, but not direct marketing on them. And none of us have to worry, and it's business as usual. But they won't do that because we all know what corporations really are. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm good. Next.
Yeah. And for me, I was telling you guys off air that I've been following this for quite some time. And the first time I heard of it, I'm like, damn, it's another BS like thing that people are making a big deal out of, right? But then it got traction and it was getting more noticeable amount around the community. I hit up Red Cup, and remember Red Cup when I hit you about it, and I was like, hey man, this is what's happening, and you were like, oh no, whatever, it could be nothing, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, you're right, this could be nothing. But then bam, it's something now, and everyone got the emails about the terms of service changing, and just they released videos, and then that's when I went into full mode, like panic mode, and I started looking at like every video, studying what I could find about what's going on, the technicalities.
Here, PJ, not to cut you off 1 second, I just wanted to mention also that there is always that option to make your channel adult 18 plus, right, where you remove the monetization anyway by default, right? So we could just become adult channels. But then the only problem with that is that YouTube reserves that right to delete your channel. I don't think they're just going to see everybody click 18 plus and then just immediately delete all those channels. So that's also another holdover we could consider, is not necessarily go dark, but click that 18 plus just for like maybe the month of January, just to see the next, because they have to have another press conference over this to see where this goes, before they actually make an action.
They don't have to do anything, to be honest.
I know they don't, but
the thing is, all right, so the last time something happened with YouTube where people were panicking was the adpocalypse, and it was all stemming from that video by Logan Paul. It's always somebody that ruins it for everybody, right? So Logan Paul posted that video with a suicide video, and guess what? That was YouTube's thing, like, yo, like, let's remove all this monetization stuff, like, from YouTubers. And that's when a lot of the big name YouTubers that were making money off of this as a living, they started seeing a downgrade in their revenue in terms of the money that they were making with the ads, right? And because they took it down and stuff. So people that were making like six figures went down to nothing, to pretty much getting down to working full-time, a full-time job, and then doing YouTube as a part-time job. You know what I'm saying? They were making six figures. So that was the last time that YouTube did something drastic in terms of changes. So now with this, I feel that, I was looking at the stuff that the videos that lawyer was posted, and it seemed like YouTube didn't really fight for us. They were pretty much like, yeah, we are the #1 kids app out there. They like gave like graphs and models, and they were saying they were #1. They were beating out Nickelodeon and Disney and all these things. And come on, if they were fighting for us, they would have said none of those things, right? But they did. And I feel that I feel that like what Rob was mentioning earlier is that YouTube wants to go like the commercial route. If you think about it, like I watched another video, like I was like, how many gigs or terabytes does YouTube upload in terms of, to their servers, right? So I looked it up. Some guy did the math, and they were saying is that they were uploading like 31,000 terabytes of data into servers. Now, if anybody knows anything about servers, it's a lot of money. It's just like, look at like a lot of creators are moving over to Vimeo, right? When you sign up for Vimeo, what's the number one thing that you have to do? Is pay like a monthly subscription, like what, $7 a month for how many gigs of storage? YouTube is offering that service for free. So this is their opportunity, like what Rob said, is to get rid of the fat. They already have their mainstream mainstream content creators, the Marcus Brownlee, the MBKK, whatever his name is. They have the makeup tutorial videos. They have all these videos that are all these content creators that have, over 1 million subscribers. They're probably going to want to do something with them and say, hey, let's take these content creators and make them a part of a subscription service. That's my thinking. I mean, why wouldn't they fight for us if they know they're going to lose a lot of subscribers? They're going to make this whole mass like exodus of like content creators because they basically, with this whole thing about choosing made for kids or not made for kids, they're putting the responsibilities on the content creators. If we choose wrong, we get fined, not YouTube.
For a mistake that they made originally.
For their mistake.
Yeah,
they're putting that blame on us, so they don't have to pay any legal fees, nothing. We're the ones that's gonna be stuck with that. And for me as a channel, I got 3 kids. I got a full-time job. I don't have to do this, this YouTube thing to make money. Thank goodness. I just feel bad for the people that rely on this as a way to make money and provide for their family. And I pray that things work out for them.
Well, on the money side of things, that keeps coming up from a lot of creators. Some people do this for a living. I'm not one of those people. I don't think anybody in this room is. We are somebody that has passion for collecting.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoy the interaction with the community. And that is why we do this. The money that I make per month from ad revenue on YouTube pays for, $100 microphone or a $50 webcam or a brand new $700 camera to film my reviews.
Yeah.
Those go back into the channel. And I think most people, and I'm not going to speak for all of you guys, but I think most people use that ad revenue for that purpose.
You know how much I'm going to be transparent here. And you know how much I made in 2 years of doing YouTube? $200. And I would say $200. And you know how much? 180 of those after taxes or whatever that YouTube gets, like I think they get a percentage of like donations from super chats. A lot of it is from JW Statues who donates $50. So technically I only made like $30 in 2 years. That is nothing. I do this because I love doing it. I love creating content. I love doing it for my viewers, my subscribers. For everybody.
Here's the rub, right? You've made $30 in 2 years or $200 in 2 years, right? So the FTC is going to fine you specifically. Let's just say they grab Paradox Nerd and they're like, all right, we're going to fine you. But we can only technically fine you based on childlike ads, like for like My Little Pony cartoons or whatever the hell it is, on your videos. So your fine technically would only wind up being like
say $1,000.
No, it wouldn't be $1,000 because it's only based off of the money you made.
Yeah,
they can only fine you based on what you're getting paid, right? So if you got paid $200, they can only fine you like $40 based on, let's say, 20% of that or however that is, depending on if those ads were even played on your video in the first place. So there's that to consider also. Not that we want to have to deal with every time I put plus you get more popular, right? The whole purpose of this is for us to become more and more popular, right? We want more subscribers, more people to watch these live chats and us and that stuff. So the more popular you get, the crazier the fines could potentially become. So it also kind of like stunts your growth mentally because you're like, all right, I got my crew that's always with me. but like, isn't the whole purpose to move forward, right? And wouldn't that like stop you, like psychologically, from wanting to move forward for potential for more fines and crazy stuff to happen to your channel?
Well, and that's the thing too, is that money aside, the $200 that you've made, the $200 aside, to me, by deeming your stuff kid appropriate to avoid fines, another big part is you're taking away the comments. You're taking away that engagement. You're taking away that growth because people are not going to discover your channel.
Yeah. And then
I have 11,600. If I turn that right now, that's probably where I'll be in a year. I would like to grow just like you guys want to grow. We want to grow our channel and make the community bigger and expand our knowledge with everyone else and have that interaction. And by doing the kid-centric stuff, or by at least deeming it that way, all of that goes away. So even the money aside, now there's a lot of creators that will say, I'm in this for the money. I do it. This is my income. This is my full-time job. I understand why they're folding up shop, because they can't afford it. They can't afford to because as you guys know, doing this takes a lot of time.
Yeah. A lot of
time away from your family. And again, especially if you're doing it for a job, I can understand why people are leaving YouTube right now, left and right.
Yeah.
I do want to hear from Mr. X, because we haven't heard from him yet.
Okay.
What do you think about all this?
So first I want to say is the FTC doesn't want to deal with this. This is, Karen, who wanted to speak to the manager who caused this whole mess, whoever that was.
Yeah.
Because as Chris talked about at the beginning, I have 3 children. They're 7, 9, and 11, and they watch YouTube religiously, and I know exactly what they watch. So because, we as good parents, guide that, if that was happening, it wouldn't be an issue. But Karen's children, or Paul's, or whoever this was that started this whole mess, was, looking at something they shouldn't. But anyway, so I actually disagree with a lot of content creators on what's going to happen. I think the first situation that'll happen is more unlikely, but this is a possibility. And it's what Red Cup said, is I think Google is using this to mount something new. They kind of looked at it. Google is an incredibly intelligent company, and they that 170 million. Yeah, it is. It's about the money, which it should be. They're a publicly traded company. I mean,
absolutely,
that's what they should. So I think that's one possibility, and we're going to see what that looks like, and it may include eliminating channels and who knows what. But I think the second scenario is, and I think this is where most content creators would disagree with me. And without revealing too much, I'm actually in court a lot, and I'm not a lawyer. And I usually am on the defending end of a suit. And that may sound like I'm shady, but I'm honestly not. And I can tell you guys, if you take me to court over my videos, most of you guys have seen them, you will lose that it was appealing to children. I will beat Google's best lawyers, and I don't even, my lawyers are just decent. I don't think that Google is going to eliminate channels like ours. I don't think channels like ours are going to be fined. I think channels that do kid-directed content, like obvious kid-directed content, I think those are the people they're going to go after. So I think that, yeah, that's distracting. Thanks. I think that, no, there's a beach right out there. I think people, they're going to mark their videos good for adults when they're clearly aimed at children. I think those are the people that are going to be fined. Those are going to be the people that are shut down. I think if you guys have ever been in court defending yourself, judges and juries, they understand that the law requires interpretation. And I have no problem, with myself or my attorney standing in a court and showing my videos to a judge or jury and them saying, well, this isn't related to kids. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, the way YouTube and the FTC have written the laws, it could be interpreted to that way. I absolutely agree. It's such a gray area. But like I said, when it comes down to it in a court of law, it's going to be interpreted by humans. And, sometimes you have a stupid judge, which I've had those before, but then you appeal them and win. And I think that, like I said, this is an unpopular opinion when it comes to YouTube creators. Like I know PJ and I disagree on this, and, PJ and I are as close as it gets. But on this, we do disagree. I don't think anything's going to happen to us. And I think that at the sometime between now and January 1st, there's going to be a Hail Mary and things are going to be more clearly defined. There's still going to be a little bit of gray area, but yeah, so I'm moving forward with no changes. And I could be wrong, and then I'll do a YouTube video about my court case because that'll be adult-oriented.
Yeah. For me, and like I don't really disagree with you, Mr. X. I think that there's a possibility that nothing like what Rob said, like what Red Cup said, that nothing could come about of this. But for me, I just think that it's just like that great. Like for me, what hurts is that the fact that you could lose all the notifications, the comments. Your channel is in limbo land, and like what Chris was saying before is that we do this to also spread this. I did a review. I would like to share that review with everybody. Not like, okay, this is only if I have like 50 subscribers, only those 50 subscribers will watch that video. You know what I'm saying? And to comment, to interact with your audience, your viewers, that's taken away. Then what the heck, Where else can we interact with our viewers and stuff like that? Not a lot of people want to go over Facebook. Not a lot of people want to go to Instagram.
That's the thing too. That a lot of some people are going over to Twitch. Like I mentioned, Darth Castle is going to go over there. I don't know anything about Twitch. Pardon me. But Facebook's an option. But some people have also said, okay, well, no matter where you go, if this is really a big deal and they continue, then are they going to go after those places too?
Oh yeah.
Are they going to go after Facebook? Are they going to go after
just the beginning? Yeah.
Is it just the beginning? And that's a question that we don't know yet.
Nah, they're going to go. If there's a mass exodus from, let's say, all of us say, all right, we're going over to Twitch, right? Then Twitch is going to become the popular thing. And next year, we're going to be facing the same bullshit. Facebook already has ads on it. So this is like, and PJ's going to love this one. This is at the end of The Last Jedi, right? Where we're shooting out into our little pods. And the FTC is just going to start picking things off. And you're going to get your little hole where we're all huddled up like, oh, this is our last chance. It's BitChute or it's DTube or whatever. And then they're going to get popular and they're going to start selling ads because they're a corporation. This is all corporation stuff. And it's going to start the cycle all over again. Yeah. And it's just like an awakening. It's like we woke up the monster. Like the monster is already... He's awake. They're awake. They see everything now. They see everything clearly, and they're just gonna be very weary of what they're gonna do. So I don't know. For me, as a channel, I'm not deleting my channel because I worked so hard to. I mean, I only have 2,000 subscribers. It's not a lot to many, but it's a lot to me. I'm gonna privatize my video like what Red Cup is doing. And I'm going to go dark. I'm going to go quiet for quite some time. I'm still going to do, I already have a podcast that I started, which, for me, that is another outlet for me to do creative stuff. It's a Star Wars podcast and Sithcast. Sorry, shameless plug. But,
check it out, baby.
But, for me, it's just like, I'm always a guy, I always think of positives, right? This is a negative. How do you turn a negative into a positive? And that's I know that I'm not wanted in YouTube. They keep taking stuff away from us. What's more? What more do they want from us? You know what I'm saying? They took off all the money that you could get from the ads, right? With the adpocalypse, right? Now they're taking away our comments, our notifications, the way we could search a video. I know I overstayed my welcome. I get it. You're kicking me out. I understand. You don't have to tell me more than 3 times. What's next? Say we survived this, right? Say we did all this stuff and we're good to go. What's next?
It's
hard. Then we'll have to just deal with that.
Because I said, yeah, I'm sorry.
Here's the thing, and I said this as a private group, but I'm going to say this and everyone is like, yeah, that's true. But it is really, really true. Laws and politicians do not make the rules and run this country. Money does.
Mhm.
And I don't mean to sound like an asshole or anything, but Google is going to do what's best for Google. And they're not worried by this. I mean, yeah, it's causing them a lot of turmoil, but if let's hypothetically say that I owned or ran a big $20 million company, let's hypothetically say that. And if someone comes to me with a problem that's, $5,000 or $10,000, it's like, oh, that sucks. I spend 5 seconds on it, and that's the realism of it. So if you think about Google and how big that monster is, this is not a big deal to them. And they are probably laughing their, can I swear on this channel?
Sure, go ahead.
Chris.
Go ahead.
They're probably laughing their effing asses off in the boardroom about how many videos are being made about this. So and how much more advertising they're getting from advertisers. So.
Well, here's the thing that really it pisses me off, quite frankly, is because there's so much good, decent content out there. I don't swear much on my channel because if my kids watch it, I want other kids to be able to watch it, but it's not geared toward them. I don't want them to be offended. And so I'm a family man. I want to reflect that on my channel. But with that said, if you take all of that good family content away and people turn their channel off, like you guys are putting your channel into hibernation, all of those channels go away. What's left? Adult content. And guess who's going to still be watching this?
Kids. Well, this
is not going to stop kids from watching any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Here's the rub, Mr. X. You said that obviously money runs everything, right? We established that Google is a big corporation. They make a lot of money, and this is just a drop in the bucket to them, right? But they also said that YouTube is beating the shit out of all these other channels, and they're the best thing ever, and they're making all this money. They're obviously making all this advertising money based on these ginormous kids channels that have 55 million subscribers, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so they get rid of us. All of our little insignificant drops in the water to them are gone. Now, they don't do the AdSense on the kids' channels anymore, so they're collecting less data on that for them to sell to other corporations so that they can use for ad revenue. So then that's kind of gone, or at least cut in half, right? Now they're left with adult stuff that a lot of adult stuff that isn't even have monetization on it, right? So what are they doing? They're going to just cut their legs out from under themselves and not have any advertising stuff because we're just a drop in the water to them. But these big, ginormous kids channels do generate a shit ton of money for them. But here's the rub. They're going to not collect from them. They're going to get rid of us. YouTube's got to be changing. There's got to be some kind of thing.
It's all about the streaming service. Think about it. Like,
man, it's a turning of the guard for them, man, because they're not going to get rid of all this money arbitrarily.
So, and I agree, but if you think that Google doesn't know what they're doing in 2032, I mean, so I completely agree with everything you just said, but that's not going to affect their plans. I mean, they have their 10-year plan out, if not more, and so. And we don't know what that is. Yeah, I mean, for all we know, their plan was to eliminate us without this FTC thing. So,
yeah, and that's for me. Like, I'm a firm believer that they really want to go the streaming service. They already have YouTube TV, which is doing pretty well with them with the Cobra Kai and stuff like that. They already have a lot of content creators over there making their own shows and things like that. So, I just have a really good, because they saw, I mean, Apple TV has it. Apple has it, Disney Plus, Netflix. They see how much money you could take. And if you think about it, if they charge $6 a month and people are like, I want my YouTube content. Oh, I want to see it. Guess what? They're going to, and as opposed to all these little channels that want to start up, they want to be the next YouTuber, right? And then they're paying money out of their thing because they're not monetized, right? No one gets monetized until after 1,000 subscribers
and 4,000 watched minutes.
Yeah, and then they're putting up all these videos that they're paying space for. And then,
but to counter that, PJ, all of those big channels, how do you think they started?
Yes, I agree, but they already have that. That's why, if you think about it, before you didn't need 1,000 subscribers to get monetized, right?
So you're telling me Google doesn't want more money?
I think because how hard is it to start from scratch on YouTube?
But not if you're. The majority of that money comes from these kids-oriented channels. They're still going to be getting revenue on, just not the AdSense revenue. The $147 million that they got fined is like a $25 parking ticket to them.
Yeah, I agree.
Originally, all they had to do was stop the AdSense on specific kids videos, and this was done.
Yep.
So they have to be changing. Who benefits? Who benefits from this? Someone gets killed in Agatha Christie novels. Who benefits?
If they cared about us, they would be defending us. They wouldn't be putting themselves like, "Oh, we're the #1 kids channel." Oh shit, exactly. we got fined. Oh, damn it. You know,
all they had to do was stop that AdSense thing and just continue as business as usual. This would have been a fine. They would have still been making billions of dollars, and none of this would be a big nothing burger. But they're not. So something else is going on.
Yeah.
So real quick, everybody, there's 108 people watching. Smash that like button. Let's get some more likes in here. We're at 25 right now. I want to see up to 40. If we get up to 40, I'm giving this away. Here we go, guys. I'm ready to give something away.
I don't think I've liked it yet.
Can I leave the chat and then come back on in 5 minutes?
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
No, I agree with what Rob said, though. So Google is doing, I mean, there's something that we don't know, whether it's something they're doing in response to this or something that was already in the works. And we don't know if that involves, hanging us all out to dry or not.
If you think that I know that I come up with some pretty decent ideas from time to time. We all do, right? We wouldn't be cool YouTube creators if we didn't. But if you think that like the professionals that are sitting at the board that get paid millions and millions of dollars a year weren't like, hey, all we really need to do, like, that meme where the guy's like, hey, what if we did this? And they throw him out the window. There was probably somebody that was like, all we need to do is stop the AdSense on kids' videos. And then the guy threw that guy out the window, So they already thought of that. So which means they have an answer for it.
Or there's some obstacle that we are unaware of why they couldn't do that. That's a possibility too. It's probably not as probable, but it is.
All they got to do is change the algorithms. That's all they got to do. Stop fucking having That's another thing. Toys R Us or Hasbro or whoever, right, buys ad space on YouTube. And then they use AdSense and the algorithm to direct market those ads. So they charge Mattel or Hasbro or whatever the kids corporation thing might be, give us $40 million and we'll run your ad this many times and this many direct marketing things. And it's worth it for those corporations to do that. Especially when you got a kid like Ryan's Toy Review that's playing with, like, let's say one of those Kinder eggs, and then it goes to commercial and it's for that Kinder egg, which is double dipping. Right. So it's like a one long giant commercial. So these corporations that are buying the AdSense are like, we're not just buying that commercial. The kid's playing with it for an hour. So it's like.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sorry.
One of the funny things, I said it in the chat we had earlier, is they're so focused on, okay, if it's geared towards kids, then kids will watch it. Well, when I was 12 years old, granted I had to use AOL dial-up, but you know what I was looking up online when I was 12 and 13? I mean, I'm not going to say it because this is a family-friendly show, but
wait, how to break dance?
Yeah, how to break dance with myself, with my door lock, and here they're coming after collectible toys because that's going to violate our children. So I think that just shows how asinine this is. And to Rob's point, there's got to be something we don't know. Yeah, that's either big, coming immediately or down the road. Or
Osami says, so swearing isn't family friendly, but half naked chicks are. Gotcha. Yeah.
It's okay if kids find that content, but if they find Chris reviewing a statue, oh my God.
Somebody also mentioned in the chat like a while back, they already have YouTube Kids, but here's the issue. The issue is I'm logged into Red Cup Review all the time on here, and then my boy or my daughter is like, I want the phone because I'm bored, and I'm like, all right, here, just take it. Just don't. You guys know what to watch. I've spoken to you already, and then bam, he's on wrestling, WWE stuff, or she's on like, you know, Ryan's Toy Review or whatever the case, Molly and Daisy or whatever.
Yeah.
And now they're collecting data on my chat through my thing. So Molly and Daisy, according to that lady that runs that channel, is seeing, oh, I have people that are, you know, 37 years old or 40 years old that are watching my channel, which isn't. So they're trying to, this is where things get dicey too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they are just mark your channel not made for kids. But then what about the adults? And they've addressed this too in the video. What about the adults that just handing their phones over, their iPads to their kids while they're locked?
Yeah. And they actually even made like they got some actual data. Like they said, like 93% of adults, parents, give their, you know, their kids their phones or cell phones or devices to let their kids watch YouTube, or they pretty much don't care what they watch. So, and I'm a culprit of that. You know, for me, like my kids, they love to watch like a lot of Fortnite stuff, and that's not on YouTube TV. I mean YouTube Kids or whatever.
Right?
No.
Did anyone watch YouTube Kids? There's like absolutely nothing in that platform. Absolutely nothing. All of the stuff that the kids want to watch are on regular YouTube. So, like, you know, even though like our statistics say that no one under the age of like 18 watches our videos, there are people or kids watching under the age of 18. Because I've had comments on my videos where I did a Hot Toy, the Advanced Suit Spider-Man for the video game. I had a kid, I think it was like a kid, it was like, oh yeah, I love that Spider-Man. I wish I could afford it. Blah blah blah. I hope my parents could buy it for me for Christmas or something like that. I'm like, what the? Okay.
That may not have been a kid.
Or it could be like a 40-year-old man that still is at home.
That's one
It was
thing
me. It was me.
I want to address too, Chris. You talked about, you know, the biggest worry we have is because we deal with characters that are appealing to kids, but it's said if we use verbiage that kids can't identify with. So maybe if we just start using the words hard work and stuff like that in our videos, kids won't understand it.
I'm gonna change my channel to a boomer nerd.
How does YouTube gonna figure out what's for kids and what's not through their algorithm, right? So they're pretty much gonna be going through the videos the way they do for like curse words and checking for names and things and stuff. So let's just say I invite Mr. X and PJ and the Batman statue collector, and then I don't know, you keep lowering. I can't see the other dude's name. I want
Dan.
Dan, yeah, Dan. And we all go out fishing. And it's just, and the name of the video is Out by the Lake Talking Comics.
That's camping, PJ.
Oh,
right.
good idea.
And we discuss like the Jim Lee 90s X-Men run while we're fishing. And the YouTube algorithm picks up words like comic book, X-Men, Marvel. Now we're a channel for kids all of a sudden, and we mislabeled our content, but it's a bunch of old dudes drinking beers, bullshitting about their youth. Come on.
Massaging each other's backs and stuff, you know.
Hey, Chris, I might be able to shed a little bit of light from a different perspective on this. So
Absolutely.
without going into a lot of detail on what I do for a living during the day, I come to this from the corporate perspective, and my company is involved with content and media and distribution.
Okay, cool.
Of that on a very, very, very big level.
Nice.
I think, Rob, you hit it on the head. There are I know there are bigger shifts in the market around content that have to do with what we're witnessing is the dismantling of broadcast cable television.
Yep.
Right. That is going away. We all know it, right? It's over 50% now, the percentage of households, but not only households, but the hospitality industry, the multi-dwelling unit complex industry, right? Where cable television distribution, the distribution of content, that shift is driving a tremendous amount of change into how companies like Google/YouTube are thinking about content, how Disney's thinking about content. Apple has made over $150 billion of investment in the past 36 months in getting that streaming service off the ground.
I agree.
It's huge.
It's huge.
So what I hate to say it and not to minimize what all of you do, and I'm very new to YouTube and I'm just trying to participate in Chris's channel. He's good enough to allow me to post my videos. but honestly, not that important. I think, Mr. X said it too. They're not looking at this our level, our community. Now, certainly, will they have algorithms that kick up and throw a red flag on somebody for some egregious, abuse of content and targeting? Yeah, maybe. That's not what they're thinking. They're thinking of shifting their business model, relayering how they think about paid subscription, what the tiers of their service are, how they distribute that content. And like I said, I won't go into detail here. I'm happy to talk offline with a couple of you guys, but my company, we're in conversation with YouTube to distribute YouTube content, and these things come up, right? So it's that's where the shift is. And Rob, you said this is like a parking ticket to Google. You couldn't be more right.
Yeah.
Is it a compelling event in YouTube's day-to-day life? Yeah, it probably is. It gives them something to think about. It's certainly a consideration in how they think about these other shifts in their business. But this is not all that terribly important to them down at this level.
So this is your fault, Dan.
On the bone.
You and your company.
Dan's gonna pull off the mask. I am the
I am Google.
Yeah, and Dan, you definitely hit the nail on the head on what's going on with because in terms of like what's happening in the near future, like cable TV. What do you think that a lot of companies like IP, like internet providers, were trying to capitalize on having internet charge not per gig instead of and that was a whole shift with the net neutrality stuff, right?
Yep.
Why? Because they know the fact that like they're not going to be making money off cable TV anymore.
That's right.
Everything's going to go through internet, and they want to get a piece of the pie. They want to charge more. Like that's what cell phones did. Remember, we used to have unlimited data on our phones.
Yep.
Then someone said, "Shoot, we could make more money by charging them per gig."
Think about the businesses out there that make money with cable television, and imagine that going away. So all of the set-top boxes going away, right? Even the casting devices that are used now, the little Rokus and the Chromecast and the things you plug into the TV, all going away, guys. You won't need that. You'll be able to cast over Wi-Fi to a smart TV. You already can in many ways, but that's going to be mainstream.
That's why the 5G thing that's like going around now, where they're like, it's super internet. It's the most crazy thing you've ever seen.
Yep, it is.
I can tell you firsthand that is the truth, right? So that's all happening, and it's changing business models. Companies in commercial terms that make a lot of money, Dish Network, right? Dish Satellite, all of those companies, the device manufacturers that make those components, all going away. Right. So now all of a sudden what you have is the Wild West. It's literally a land grab for market share for content distribution. That's what Google's thinking about. So, I don't think they're coming for our babies yet. I really don't. They've got much, much bigger fish to fry.
Yeah. See, for me, I don't really care about the FTC coming after me because like you said, like what Mr. X said, we're small. Why would they care about me?
Yep.
What I care
We're
about
not all small. Speak for yourself.
Well, imagine they do.
YouTube channel. Sorry.
Yeah. You're pretty big, Mr. X. But like for me, it's like the fact is that they're trying to phase this out. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're basically taking away all these things away from us for us to move on. And that's what they want. They're laughing. They're like, oh, mass exodus. Bye-bye. See ya. Like this is our chance to move on to that model that we've been wanting. And I get it. Like as a content creator, as much as I hate that thing to happen, I know if I'm not wanted in a certain platform.
PJ, I can almost imagine this being a big nothing burger, right? Initially, and everything is business as usual. And then like next September, them saying, well, since that happened last year and the FTC got their stuff around, we're going to be making some changes around here on YouTube in the way that things are distributed to people. So here's the new model going forward come this January 1st, Yeah.
And as a content creator, you just don't want to be like stuck with like, you're always like, you're trying to move forward, but then you're taking like 100 steps back. And for me, with YouTube, I'm almost done. Like I get it, and I would like to move on to another platform where I don't have any restrictions. Where someone's going, "Oh yeah, by the way, we changed this." Ha ha. Sorry. And you're like, "What?" It's like every year there's always a new change, and
Change is consistent.
change is consistent, obviously, but it seems like they don't want, they don't want you to grow. They already made their money. They became YouTube the number one search engine, or second search engine besides Google in the world. So they don't care anymore. They already did what they did, and they're moving forward, and they try and move forward.
Max mentioned Google's 10-year plan, and he couldn't be more right. How they make money today, that's not at all how they expect to make money 5 and 10 years from now, at all, right? So that's the big change. So what we're more likely to experience as video creators on YouTube is a change in the platform and the structure of the platform, right? So they may choke down the audience that you're exposed to. They may choke down the amount of videos you can actually produce and publish. They'll choke and adjust those things, but it's just going to be it'll be very different.
Yeah.
Things work at my job, guys, and everybody in the chat. I work for, I'm pretty open about this. I work for garbage removal, sanitation, right? Mm-hmm. And this is how they do things. You have a route, right? Your route is, let's say, 10 lines long, and you put 10 tons of garbage on that truck into 10 lines, and then it's contract time. So what do? They say, okay, we're going to put 2 more lines on your route. Your route's going to go from 10 tons to 11 tons, but we're going to give you like 2% raise over the next, for the next 2 or 3 years in a row. And then it's going to be contract time again, and everybody's in an uproar. Then they're going to turn around and they're going to say, next time, now we're going to put 4 lines. It's just another 2 tons, guys. And this is how they change the culture going forward. So when the new hirees come on, they're used to doing 14 tons instead of 10. And the old time guys like myself at this point are like, this is ridiculous. The job is changing. This is insane. But it's just business as usual for the new guys going forward. So if you want to make change, you don't make sweeping change. You do one thing that causes a panic, then everything settles down. Then everybody's complacent, you stir the shit up again.
But wouldn't you agree that from a for-profit business, that is a smart strategy?
I agree. Yep.
I do the same thing. That's the way you're supposed to do things. That's why there's unions in place to fight that as best as they can. But that's why this and Dan, you should have just told us to shut the fuck up and had Dan just talk.
I know, Dan. You should have said something in the beginning instead of us like trying to.
No, we're guys like no.
And I was going to say, hey Dan, I want to hear from your perspective as somebody just starting out with us. To and you dropped the hammer. It was it's great.
Yeah. So I was going to say, Dan, my questions to you is that say if I'm a new content creator, and I go, hey Dan, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. Would you tell them like with all these changes? No. Or
no, not at all. I'd actually just say that be prepared to be flexible in terms of what the environment that you're creating in today is likely to be very different a year, 2 years down the road. And it's not even to say that you're not still publishing videos. Chris is distracting me with Batman toys now.
Everybody's having a fit that I haven't given this thing away yet.
Well, and really quick, so I'm actually fairly new. I'm only 10 and a half months in. And I've put a lot of freaking time into this. I mean, I've probably put 30 hours plus a week into it. And I would just be pissed because when I start a project, I like to finish it big. And I'm in my opinion, I'm like year 1 of 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, it does. And I don't want to say, I came off really like, I don't think anything's going to happen. I do have concerns. I mean, it would suck if it's like, well, that all that time and effort was wasted, but.
Yeah,
it's not, because you know what? You made friends. You hung out with us in New York Comic Con.
That was only because of YouTube.
Well, I'm just saying, like it brought us together.
Backpedal.
It brought us together. Like that's one thing I am very thankful for about YouTube. Even though I didn't make any cent, I probably spent more money doing YouTube stuff than make money.
We do.
But in the most part, like the friends I made. The interactions, the experience, it's priceless.
Absolutely. I have one more topic I want to talk about before we go, but I do want to give this guy away. Okay, so again, this is courtesy of Sideshow Collectibles. 1/6 scale Batman.
Mm-hmm.
This thing kicks major ass here. Really cool piece. Lots of switch outs. So here's the question. If you guys can help me watch again. The question is, let me read it here. Bob Kane introduced Batman's young sidekick Robin, the Boy Wonder, in what year?
Oh, jeez.
Get out your Google machines.
See, this is wrong. We are mad at Google and we're using them.
I know. It's a double-edged sword.
Figure.
Double-edged sword. You could use what's another search engine? I don't even know another search engine.
Bing, Yahoo.
Google.
Yahoo, that's right.
Yeah.
Native search engings. It's
Who uses Bing anyway? I actually tried using Bing. Bing is horrible.
It's Microsoft's product.
Awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful. All right. I think we have a winner. First person that I see. Make sure.
I'm cold too.
Person. It's 1940. I think Poor Boy Collector. Let me make sure.
1940.
Yep.
Adam.
Oh boy.
Okay, Poor Boy Collector right there. Bam, 1940.
Nice. Congrats.
Congratulations. You are the
Nice.
winner
Congratulations.
of this Batman right here. Again, email me at thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com and give me your contact information, and we'll make arrangements to get this shipped out to you. So congratulations. Again, thank you to Sideshow for both this item and the Batman Calavera. Thank you, guys. They did that to celebrate my 3rd anniversary, so thank you to Sideshow. And then coming up here real shortly, we're going to be doing this one right here, the Donna Troy from Tweeterhead. One of the most beautiful sculpts I've ever seen. The face on her is just
I love
outstanding.
those Tweeterheads.
Yeah, I agree, Dan. Tweeterhead is such a underrated company. They do beautiful, beautiful statues.
They really do.
Yeah,
They're just phenomenal. They are just
I agree.
phenomenal. One thing I wanted to do before we wrap it up tonight, I did want to say I saw a lot of other creators, and they're looking for their platforms. We've talked about that ad nauseum about you can go to another platform like Twitch or wherever, but the same thing may happen there. We don't know. We don't know what the history is going or what the future is going to bring. But some people have said, what about like Patreon? Patreon is something that some of us have. I have a Patreon. I have 4 patrons. And the reason why they're patrons is because they get the content before everybody else. They want to go above and beyond. It's something I don't like to promote, but it's there. Some people have said, okay, well, on Patreon, you could set up $1. $1 a month is the lowest you could do. It's $12 a year for channels that you really love to support. And that could be a way to put your content out there. You can put all of the videos, people can comment. Again, it's $1 a month. What do you guys think about the idea of creators going that route and not having to worry about, because then you know exactly who's watching your content?
The only concern I would have is I think about how many channels I watch, and there's probably about 50 or 60, and probably about 20 religiously. And $20 a month isn't horrible, but it's more than Disney Plus,
Yeah.
So I think that would be the part. It's like let's use I'm trying to think of 2. I don't want to upset anybody. I'm trying to think of 2 people that review a lot of statues. Let's put those head to head, and you're going to have people. Well, they're going to choose between one of those 2, even though they want to do both, because there is a cost associated with it. So I think that would be the negative of it, and I'm sure there's positives too. But
here's something I've noticed too about these other big time. Everyone's releasing like their State of the Union address, right, for their channels, and what I'm seeing is it's the apocalypse from the big channels. Everybody run! This is madness, but I'm not going to go anywhere. So everyone else leave, and I'm just going to stay right where I am. Come on, like that's ridiculous too, man.
Yeah.
So I think that these conversations that we're having here are really good. Again, I'm very appreciative you guys invited me on, but I think that this isn't going to be the end. I think that this is going to be a weekly thing kind of going into the new year, and possibly even for the few weeks going past the new year, for us trying to figure out and see where this goes.
But you're still, at this point, you're still going to go black for January.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm doing one of two things. I'm gonna, as of before this conversation, I was going black and seeing how it played out. However, I may there's two other options, right? As of right now, I can just set my content to 18 plus, or just, what if you just individually marked your videos and then voluntarily demonetized for just a little while to see how this plays out? Because the FTC doesn't give a shit, theoretically, about videos that aren't compiling ad revenue, because this is a money situation, right? I mean, I guess Dan could be able to comment on that.
Can you do that? Can you demonetize your own videos and then turn them back on?
Pretty sure you can. I have the option.
Yeah, I think you can.
So you could just turn that on and off theoretically, right? So there's that. So it's either go 18 plus and see where it goes, keep everything as business as usual, just demonetize your channel, right, while marking your videos individually, or going black. So before this conversation was going black, I got to tell you right now, it's probably more on the side of just voluntary demonetizing, and then possibly going black if things look like they're really bad. Like, again, they're going to go after the first big guys. So if they're going to go after a huge channel first, we're going to have the opportunity, being smaller, of going, oh shit, look at the building toppling. I might want to get out of here, and just bouncing completely, or just marking your channel either for kids or demonetizing or going black based on that. Now this is just for right now. We still have 5 weeks to go. I might also consider going to like a Twitch, but I know that's not going to be a permanent solution. So I really don't want to have to go and learn a whole new thing, and then next year have to learn a whole new thing again, and so on and so on and so forth. Yeah.
I just for me, in terms of Patreon, I just don't like asking people for money. I never have. I don't get approved for anything in terms of affiliate links or anything like that. So I really don't make any money. I do this for the passion of creating content. Really, I lose so much money, guys. Like, seriously, I lose sleep and money. I lose sleep and money to put out. And, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I could just review a statue, not care about the editing and put it out there. But I do care because I like the creativity of it.
If you have pride in your work, you want it to look good.
Yeah. So that's who I am. That's how I am. And I'm not going to switch over to Patreon. I'm not going to, and like what Mr. X said, there's like 5 other statue channels that are asking for money for Patreon. I'm probably going to be not even considered, but even regardless, I don't feel good asking people for money. I might as well just go out in the streets and ask and beg and do like a trick over there. I'll do like a backflip or something for $1.
Here's something that
if you'll do stuff for money, PJ, we should talk.
Well, I got the deal that we have. It's you're not supposed to advertise that publicly.
Here's something that drives me nuts, right?
Yeah.
From a practical standpoint, and I'm going to address Miss Statue Mania in the chat, who had said something like, "Why would you pay?" Let's see. In my opinion, if you have a Patreon account, a subscription account that people have to pay for just to watch special content is crazy. Why collect? And she says, did you get into this for the money, or where did you do it for passion and collecting and sharing with like-minded folks? Okay, here's the issue.
That's a good question.
Okay, I basically, for the most part, I review, although I should say I review a whole lot of stuff. That's why it's Red Cup Review and not just one specific thing. But the best videos on my channel that get the most traction are my Mezco reviews, right? Now, Mezco figures cost roughly around $100 to $110 shipped depending on where you live in the U.S. That's a $100 investment. If you have a Patreon where you're asking for $1 to see whether or not that $100 figure is worth even buying, then it's like, that's a no-brainer. If you are a hardcore Mezco person, so let's say out of the 10,000 people that collect Mezco figures, or 6,000 people, if 20% of those collected every single one and just had to have it, in my opinion, if I was one of those people, I would pay the $1 a month just to see if it was worth me paying for that $100 figure. Now, now on the flip side, it's, well, I'm trying to make money based on, but I'm also providing the service to stop you from spending that money. Like there's that, it's kind of like a give and take, a two-way street there. You know, the hours that we put into this, and it's not like we're doing this to make money, and none of us are already making money. But on a platform like Patreon that forces people, because they got to make their money by hosting your stuff, you know, it's $1 a month. You know, so is that necessarily worth it? Plus, you got to consider all the other people that are doing it in the competition and everything else. That might not also be the way to go. Patreon is like, you know, I don't know, it's hit and miss, man. I mean, I've thought about opening a Patreon based on you, Batman. Just saying, like, oh, people like, just do it, even if you have one Patreon or nobody, just to have it there set up so you can learn that along the way that all this other stuff, though. And this guy says, Red Cup, that's your opinion. Art is totally subjective. Yes, it is. It totally is subjective. So that's why when I look for a review, I watch a guy like Paradox Nerd for, like, let's say a hot toy. I'll look at him. I'll look at a guy who doesn't even know how to review videos also. I always watch like a channel that doesn't have a lot, because I don't know if the guy that has the nice, bright, shiny video is just kissing ass versus the other guy that's like really into it just because he likes the figure he got, or is this worth it or not? So I always try to do like a low, medium, and high on all the stuff I watch. You know, if I'm choosing to buy something, then I wouldn't necessarily be reviewing myself.
Yeah. And, you know, for me, like I said, like, it's hard. It's really, I just don't like, I don't know. Like, I got into YouTube, just because actually I'm going to be, transparent here. Like I got into YouTube because I really wanted to be the #1 statue YouTuber out there, and I want to make lots of money. No, I was kidding. I'm not. I'm just kidding. Like,
then don't review statues on YouTube.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but like for me, I got into YouTube because it's just one of those things. Like I like editing. I like the filming part because I did take a lot of like film classes when I was in high school and college. That's like something I love. I love watching videos. I mean, movies. So. You know, a friend of my friend's son died, and it almost hit me like a ton of bricks that life is short. That's why in my end of my videos, I always say, do what you love and love what you collect. And there's a reason for that, is because we don't have a long life here. You know what I mean? Like, life is short. So once you do what you love and love what you collect. So that's why I got into the YouTube thing, because I always wanted to do the, you know, I wanted to try it, and I love collecting. I love statues. I love hot toys. I love pretty much a lot of things. That's why you see a lot of things on my channel. And I just wanted to go with the ride. Like, you know, whatever this wave takes me, it takes me. If I work with a company and they want to send me stuff, I'm not going to turn it down. Whatever, I will just do an honest review on it. If I meet more collectors, I meet more people, great. And I did. Out of everything, even though I didn't get a chance to work with companies, like, who cares? Like, you know, for me is like, I meet Chris, I meet Dan, I meet Rob, I meet Mr. X. And how I actually, in a little story in how I got into watching Mr. X's videos, I thought he was super funny. He was a guy that didn't give a fuck. And I'm not going to curse.
Wait, stop talking about me in the past tense, man. I was funny.
You're not funny. No, he's still funny, but I'm just saying, like, he like I love what he did. He didn't care what you thought about him. He just did what he loved. And I love about Chris is that, like, he reviewed very engaging. I love his passion for Batman, and like the stuff like that got me into Prime 1. He was the reason why I got into Prime 1 statues and stuff. Rob, I love Rob. I actually thought Rob was like really like Red Cup review. I always thought he just liked drinking. Like drinking a lot of like, because you Red Cup, you drink in college with like alcohol or something. But the friends I made, it's more than enough. And if I had to stop doing YouTube, I'll be very happy with my experience. And
a lot of it, like you said, also goes into the people you want to watch too. Like, for instance, and I beat this drum to death. He's not here with us right now. and I watch Batman Statue Collector when I can. I watch Paradox Nerd when I can. I try to comment on everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
Mr. X, I'm going to have to start watching your stuff now because I've just meeting you and I'm going to give it a shot too. And I hear you're racy and I like that stuff. So that being said, the guy I try to watch religiously is Knickknack's Plastic Planet. And he doesn't review a damn thing besides an occasional hot toy that I might be interested in. But I tune in to watch Knickknack because I like Knickknack. I watch him. So it's like I'm tuning in to see him and his goofy little thing he does. And then the thing he has in the video is like extra. That's the bonus.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And, shout out to Thor, Rodney, Atim, TCX, great friends of mine. And everyone else, I got to meet Jem. Jem's awesome. I can't think of the top of my head, but just pretty much everything, man. This is just it's such an awesome thing to share this passion with other people, and it's because of YouTube. It's because of that. If I didn't get into YouTube, I'll probably still be in what's that called? Sideshow Freaks, looking up like information about statues and hot toys, and yeah.
I mean, bottom line, I think that everybody gets into video creating because they have a passion for the filming, they have a passion for the editing, they have a passion for creating something. And I view it as art. Not only are the statues that we collect art, but also the way we try to present our channel. I know everybody in this room right here tries to improve their quality with everything they do. Sometimes we don't have the resources to do it. I wish I had, $1,000 editing software that I could do whatever I wanted with. I have $100 editing software that I use.
I have a $30 one.
What?
I have a $30 one, and it takes me forever to edit just because.
See, there you go. And so, but everybody in here has a passion for that. Everybody in here has a passion for these things, these pieces of concrete that are surrounding us that we spend, hundreds of thousands of dollars on as our hobby. And but all of that, and just like PJ said, all of it to me, in celebrating these last 3 years, it has connected me to you guys. It's connected me to the community, to find like-minded people, to find people. There are always going to be people that disagree and have arguments and have drama. But for the most part, I find this community incredibly engaging. I find it positive. I find these are people that share a passion for this type of content. And that's why I get so mad about all of this topic today, is the fact that some of that is going to go away.
Yeah.
Whether it's forced or whether it's decided on their own, that makes me really upset, because I love when channels come out. I don't ever view them as competition. I view them as, thank God there's more of us, because that's how we communicate. That's how we share our passion with one another. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And
God lifts all boats, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look at us. We're all, we don't see each other as competition, but more as friends. That's what I love about New York Comic Con, is that a lot of the creators come out to hang out. It's not like, oh shit, let me just film this video and be the first one to put it up, and let me compete with this guy or that guy. No, it's more like, hey, hey, Mr. X, let's go out for a drink, or Mac, or let's go hang out, go grab something to eat. What do you think about the statue and stuff like that? It brings us together. And like you said, Chris, there is always going to be drama anywhere you go. That's life. But the one thing about this community is so positive, and it's a great feeling to be part of. So
yep, absolutely. I'm ready to give away our superpowers. I do want to give a shout out. I just saw JW came back in. I didn't see it earlier, but he did a super chat. So thank you, JW. I appreciate it very, very much. PJ mentioned that earlier as well. So we do appreciate when you support the channel. So thank you for that. Definitely visit JW Statues. He has also commented about him and his daughter, because he does a lot of content with his daughter.
Oh yeah.
That he is going to not do the content with his daughter for the time being, but still do his own content. So it'll be interesting. I'm anxious to have some conversations with him too about how he's going to proceed. But I do want to give a shout out to him. So again, this is the Donna Troy from Tweeterhead, a beautiful statue. If you're not real familiar, oh, thank you very much. There, right there. Let me highlight you real quick. Put that back up there one more time. There he is. JW Statues. He's also on Instagram.
Rising tide lifts all boats. And somebody had mentioned again, I don't want to, this is the dopest shit ever that you're giving this thing away. But we all here to support each other. And I saw somebody in the chat. Here's somebody that's not with us again. How do I check out Knickknack? It's Knickknack's Plastic Planet. Just type that in and you'll find Knickknack's page. And everybody here should have liked this video already. And I just want to say that because I noticed that I go live too, and there's like 10 likes and like a whole bunch of people watch the video, and it's like you want to bang your head against the wall. Like just press the button. So like this video. There you go. Smash the like button and subscribe to Paradox Nerd Red Cup Review. All right. Dan deserves a friggin' pour a drink out for him for what he did earlier.
Absolutely.
Right? Mr. X. And obviously, you wouldn't be here if you weren't already subscribed to Mr. Batman over here.
Yeah. And Dan, actually, I wanted to comment. Your videos are amazing, man. Like, I love like your DIYs.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are cool.
I was like, damn, I wish I could speak like Dan. Dan is so like well spoken and so informative about things. And I'm like, here, I'm like, this is
he's the mind.
The detail is all I can.
He's the mind behind Google.
Exactly.
I love how he's getting into it. I love because he's all in right now. I love it. He's got the graphics. I love it. Awesome.
And I know you're trying to wrap it up, Chris, but I know I speak for everybody. We do this for us. It's like you said, it's an art. It's addicting.
Yeah.
If any of you knew the amount of money we make off ads, I'm pretty sure it's below minimum wage times 3.
It is. It is. I mean, without the JW Statues donations, I mean, super chats, I made $30 in 2 years.
Yeah.
Do the math.
Yeah. You can't go onto YouTube thinking you're going to make money. You just can't. You're going to make some.
Yeah.
It is not going to pay the bills. That's for sure. Unless,
but it's fun. It's fun. Like I bet you money. Most of the statue collecting channels, if you told them tomorrow your monetization will go away, but everything else will stay, we would all still do it.
Yes, I agree. I would still do it. I would still keep doing. Just don't take away my my comments, my notifications, my searchability. That's the only thing that's really bumming me out about this whole change. Like, like what Red Cup said. If I get fined for the amount of money I made through ads, fine me. So it's gonna be like 1 cent, and I'll take that 1 cent and shove it up. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this. So Donna Troy. Just a second. I just got another super chat. Customs says, "Let me borrow that Huntress, Chris. Come on over. You can borrow her." No, absolutely.
And by the way, for those super chats,
she's right there.
YouTube still takes a good chunk of that out of that.
Oh yeah, you don't get all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think YouTube's not going to get their cut?
Yeah, are you kidding me? They probably take like what 20% or something like that. It's pretty.
I'm sure. I don't ever know, but absolutely. So anyway, thank you again, Sugar Shame Customs. I appreciate that very much. So here it is, Donna Troy. Again, I want to thank Todd from Spec Fiction for providing this not only to review but also to give away. Really excited about it. And so the question is going to be kind of hard though. So get ready for it. Okay. And this is one that even
she said.
Yeah.
Finally, geez, I've been waiting all night.
I finally got one. I'm glad. That's great.
She said that too.
Oh, I knew it. See, I was waiting for that.
Especially my wife. We're in a resort and she's over there waiting.
I bet. All right, let's get this done then. All right, so this is difficult, but here we go. What was Alfred the Butler's original family last name?
Ding, ding, ding. Yes. My wife's getting a ding, 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 ding. She's like, I'm going to get a little bell.
This one's hard.
You know, my wife and I, we had a conversation about 15 years ago. What did we do before Google? Like we were wondering what trains did in Minnesota when there was 2 feet of snow, like if they shoveled the tracks or what. But thankfully, we had Google to answer.
That's right. I think we just used to stare at walls.
Yeah. Go to the library.
It's unbelievable. My my grandma, who just passed this past like 2 days ago.
Really sorry.
Thanks. I'm not trying to bring the mood down by saying this, but this is something my wife had mentioned. She started her life. She lived through the Great Depression, and she had to share a house with her 8 siblings. And her mom passed away when she was 2, and she's the youngest of all the siblings. And she started out living in poverty, and she passed away FaceTiming her great-grandchildren. That's sick. So
Wow.
So it's like how far we become. You mentioned shovel. What do we? No, she didn't pass away while FaceTiming, but like the idea is that she lived through all this crazy stuff, and you had mentioned like yeah, beautiful home FaceTiming at the end of her life. So, and you had mentioned, what did we do before? And we just stared at walls. And it's like, yeah, well, she was one of the people that just stared at walls. And then she was FaceTiming, you know.
I want to congratulate 2% Remy. He is our winner.
2%.
2%. Got it.
Nice.
And let me show you the actual quote here. Although Alfred's family name has since been changed to the more dignified sounding Pennyworth, when he first made his first appearance in Batman 16, his name was Alfred Beagle. So that's pretty awesome. I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
So that's awesome. So congratulations. I saw a whole bunch of correct answers in the chat, but 2% was the first one to get it. So congratulations, 2% Remy again. Please make sure you contact me at thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com, and we'll make arrangements to get this shipped off to you. So again, congratulations. And again, thank you to Sideshow. Thank you to Spec Fiction. Thank you guys so very much for being in this Rogues Gallery with me tonight. Thank you, especially Mr. X for being here on vacation. Thank you to Red Cup for being here on the way home from a funeral. Thank you guys very much. Thank you for PJ and Dan for taking time out of your night. And I really, really enjoyed the show tonight. It is something that is very unique right now to this community, and I hope it doesn't affect the community in a negative way. I keep praying that something positive will all come out of this, but we will keep you posted. I'm sure all of the channels will keep you posted and let you kind of know what's going on. Hold on just a second. I got another super chat. Let me say it real quick. My subscriptions have grown exponentially from these live chats because you guys turn me on to other like-minded content creators. So thank you, Chris. Thank you, Dark Ranger 7. That's awesome. Thank you.
I got to go subscribe to this guy now, too. My wife gives me
absolutely. Ranger 7. It's
like $20 for the 2 books he wants.
So, yeah. So anyway, thank you guys for taking your time out of your night to spend here. And again, it should be an interesting topic in the next month or so. Stay tuned to all the channels. I'm sure we'll all be talking about it more, or we're just going to keep plowing through. And that's what she said. And I beat you. I got you there.
Well, she's never said that to me.
Oh, there you go. But anyway, I can't thank you guys enough that are watching this right now, that are watching this after the fact, that have been watching this channel for 3 years. Thank you for supporting channels like mine. Thank you for supporting channels like Red Cup, like Extreme Collectibles, like Paradox Nerd, like DCX, like Rad Titan, like Gem Mint. All of these channels that Mac Collections. Please continue to support them. They need you guys right now more than ever with what's going on. So please give them your love. Because this is what this community is all about, is supporting each other and showing love and communicating with each other, and just enjoying the hobby. So anyway,
not that I know you're doing your sign off, but here's another very important thing and why everyone should be subscribed to everyone else. Because if for some reason we lose track of one another, I mean, we might not because we were in a specific circle with each other. Like if you happen to just like Red Cup, if you happen to just find out about Mr. X or Paradox Nerd, you might want to subscribe to that channel because in the next 5 weeks, shit's going to hit the fan. So now's the time to stay in touch with the creators you may have a liking to.
Yeah. And I just want to say to everyone that to Chris, to Red Cub, to Mr. X, and Dan, also to all the other channels, DCX, Gem, MCE, to anyone that makes content on YouTube. We all know how hard it is to put good quality content for people to enjoy. And I just want to say, it's thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing what you guys do. I know how hard it is to create these contents and the time that we put into this, staying up late, worrying about what people are going to say about our videos or stuff like that, and I hope that this blows over and that we could continue making this content in the new year without any restrictions or any problems. So, and to anyone that's out there watching our content, like what Red Cup said, subscribe to our channels, not just because, okay, we want another subscriber, but who knows what the future holds. So you might not be able to look for the, if you're looking for a Batman statue, you might not be able to look for it because it's not coming up on the search engine because whatever reason. Or if you want to look for like X-Men statue or stuff like that or whatever, you can't see it on Mr. X or on a Red Cup's channel. So definitely subscribe. Give us a like, that helps a lot with the algorithm and stuff like that. So, but yeah, thank you guys to all the viewers that do support us and everything. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to say anything before we sign off?
I'm going to continue my no pants reviews, which I wouldn't assume is appealing to children, but
it appeals to.
You just never know. You just never know.
It appeals to
Mr. X. What am I searching for? I'm right now to find you. Like, who am I looking for?
The Extreme Channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
No E.
No E in what? Yeah, the extreme. Wait, hold on a second. Wait, no. You are channel. Damn, son, you just started a year ago and you got over 4,000 subs, or you got 4,001 more. So there you go. Bang.
It's the
Thank you.
There you go.
The no pants review. It really does help a lot.
Unfreaking believable, man.
Can you imagine if you had no shirt and pants? Forget it.
Well, that's the 10,000 giveaway. All right. Red Cup review subbed. Boom.
That works.
I love it. Well, with that, guys, we're going to sign off for tonight. Again, thank you for your time. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for watching. I really, really appreciate you, as you know. And we'll be back hopefully in a couple weeks and see kind of what's going on in the collecting world. So, as always, thank you so very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you in the Batcave. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
All right, guys.